Hello everyone, so I'm here today to do a video, a little bit of a chit chat about the format of books and the way we read books, because I have found that in the last couple of years my reading format has changed quite a bit. So I used to just read physical books. I would get a lot of books from the library, buy some and just read them, right? But when Corona hit, the library closed and I started relying a lot more in ebooks, and also because of how my job has developed in the last few years. Right now I deal a lot with handling data, and if you have ever done that, it's a fairly mechanical thing a lot of the time, so I don't have to think a lot, so I can read audiobooks as well. And I used to not like reading audiobooks because I couldn't concentrate on them. But I found that I have to be doing something that is not very like mind consuming, like formatting data or puzzle, maybe something like that, or going for a walk. And then it works for me. But before I had tried to do that, like either just sitting and listening, which my mind started wandering because I needed something to do with my hands, but not too much. Like sometimes cooking or packing or organizing is not, it requires more of my mind to read an audiobook. I don't know if that happens to anybody else, but for me audiobooks is something that I do when I'm doing something kind of mechanical, and then it works out. Also, maybe it's just the audiobooks have improved over the years, or it's something that I have started noticing more, but I think that there is a lot more acting in audiobooks lately, which makes it a lot more engaging to read in that format. So I have been enjoying my audiobooks lately, especially this month. I had a lot of work to do, and I just put my audiobook and went with it, and it made it a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, that's something that I have been enjoying in the last few months, few years, more and more. Also, I usually read audiobooks in 1.5 or 1.8 speed. I maybe that's also why I didn't like audiobooks at the beginning, because it was so slow. And then I heard that someone said that when they record audiobooks, they do them slow on purpose, so that anyone with impairments or something, you can kind of put it at the speed that you want to, and after a little bit it doesn't feel like a computer voice or anything, at least for me. So yeah, I've been enjoying my audiobooks more. Also, in the ebook front, I used to not like ebooks. I still don't really like ebooks. I know there are like rational advantages, and some of them I share. Like now that I have a baby, it's very convenient that I don't have to turn on the light to read, especially in those like middle of the night feeds. I can just read without having to put lights on, and only with one hand and stuff like that. Like the fact that so many books fit in such a small space, all of those rational things, I understand, but it makes it very tiring for me to read ebooks. I don't know if that's something that other people experience, or if you have tips about it. I don't have an e-reader. I read either in my phone or my computer. I just don't like them enough to make the commitment to buy a thing just for them, even though I have been reading a lot more ebooks in the last couple of years. Again, as I said, because of COVID, I got into the habit of reading ebooks, and now I'm just into that habit. So actually the majority of the things I read now are ebooks, even though it's not my preferred format. But I just also find it a lot easier to find books in that format, and it's kind of like a lot easier to purchase or to find in any library, or things like that are easier, and once you find it you can just get it immediately, whereas physical books especially physical books in English or Spanish or something like that. For me, it's kind of difficult to get because, yeah, my library has a good selection of English books, but it's still a limited one. And there are also 2 or 3 bookstores here that provide books in English and other languages, which is really nice. But again, like, they don't have like a super wide selection. They don't always have the stuff that I want. There is also a Waterstones in Amsterdam, but I don't go to Amsterdam that much, especially lately. So for me, it is difficult to access those books. So yeah, it's not that easy to access physical books that I want. Also, the cost of them is a lot higher than ebooks normally. So yeah, that's also something to consider. Like, I cannot at this moment afford to buy, I don't know, 20 physical books a month, which is something that I would maybe like to do. But then again, there is nothing like reading a physical book and being able to smell it and all of those things. Also, something that I recently saw on a podcast or listened to in a podcast was someone saying that they read a lot in audio and ebook, but then when they had a child, they wanted their child to see them read actual books so that the child will learn that their parents are a reader, and maybe that will help to pass down that habit as well to the children. And I would like my child to be a reader. I mean, if she doesn't want, she doesn't want, but I don't want her to not read just because she's not exposed to it. And I think I agree that my child seeing me read is a very positive thing, an actual book. So I think that I want to make an effort to read more physical books because I enjoy them more in general, and because I want my child to also see me have that habit. And even though I still will read ebooks and audiobooks because they are convenient in different ways, I think I'm going to make an effort to read more physical books because I have kind of lost the habit of reading physical books since Corona started, and I was deprived of the library. Let me know if you have also experienced something like that, if your format preferences have changed over the years, which is your preferred format, all of those things. Please leave a comment and let me know. And until next video, bye!